Hey everyone, it's Kory DeSoto. Today we're going to talk about a more serious subject. I don't like doing these types of videos because I don't want to be a downer, but something happened to me recently and I wanted to discuss it. I wanted to talk about it. I've been out of the closet as a gay man for a while now. I came out when I was 22 and I've always been harassed. I've always been bothered, and it's been mostly by Christians. And that just boggles my mind. I don't get it whatsoever. I get tons of messages on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube about how I'm gonna go to hell and how I'm a sinner and that I need to change my life. Well, this one message, it was sent through YouTube. It stuck out in particular because it said, "Kory, I think you're great, but I disagree that you are a gay man. I think that you can change. I saw in one of your past videos you mentioned you had a rough past, a rough childhood, and I thought if you opened up about that, you could help a lot of people that are also gay and have been molested and sexually abused." First off, I have never been molested, I have never been abused, and that is not why I am gay. I never talk about my past because it was in the past, and I don't like thinking about it. It makes me sad, but I'll just give you the brief version. The father figures in my life were extremely abusive. When I was 7, my parents got divorced, and my mother quickly remarried, and I moved in with my stepdad and my mom. My stepdad was very angry, partly because he has MS and he had lesions in his brain which caused him to be furious at nothing. Growing up, I was huddled in a corner and screamed at, telling me that I was a worthless piece of shit, that I was nothing. I was told that I was weak and that I should just go kill myself because weak people don't deserve to live. I was afraid to go to sleep. I was afraid to come home. I remember sleeping in my bed and waking up to a huge thud. I mean, just imagine sleeping in your bed as a 7-year-old and hearing a huge thud and on your wall because your brother is being picked up by his neck and slammed against the wall. My childhood was terrifying. Not to mention I was clinically depressed. I had extreme OCD and extreme anxiety. Depression runs in my family. My grandfather is hospitalized for depression and 2 of my cousins have committed suicide. When I was in the 6th grade, my father called me on the phone and told me, "Kory, I don't want you coming over to my house anymore because you get in the way of my dates. I want to be a single man." And so I was stuck being raised with my mother and my stepfather, who was basically insane at that point. And I know if you're a kid from an abusive family or if you are in an abusive relationship, you know how it is. You act invisible. It's the mentality of not seen, not heard. If you're not seen, then you don't get yelled at, you don't get abused, you don't get screamed at. So I grew up my whole life hiding, not talking, being terrified every second. Not to mention struggling with being gay and being told that being gay is wrong and being gay is filthy and sick and is a huge sin and that you're gonna go burn in hell for it. I know there's kids out there that are in abusive families, and I know you know what I'm talking about. It's living hell. It is hell because you can do absolutely nothing and you get punished and you get yelled and you get abused. I remember sitting at the dinner table, just sitting at the dinner table eating my dinner, and all of a sudden my stepdad gets into a rage and starts screaming at me because I wasn't making conversation at dinner. Tears are streaming down my face. I couldn't eat. My head is just down looking at my food, screaming at me, screaming because I couldn't come up with a conversation topic at dinner. My whole life was like that. For 18 years, I felt like I was living in a war zone and any second you're gonna get shot in the face. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. So that is what I'm talking about when I had a rough childhood. I wasn't sexually molested. I wasn't raped. And that's not why I'm gay. I'm gay because I was born this way. I've always liked men. Always. Anyways, back to the topic of being harassed for being gay. It's mostly people from the church. I still do believe in God, but I will never go to church because of this reason. So when I went to college, it was a private Christian school. Being gay was not allowed. You had to sign your life away, a contract saying that you will not participate in gay activities. No hand-holding, no kissing, no relationships, nothing. So it wasn't allowed. And I wasn't gay in college. I didn't do anything until after I graduated. They always had this gay conversion thing going on at school. They would have these gay speakers come up and say how they're married with children and that they used to have gay tendencies, but now God saved them and now they're better. I'm not to judge. If that's their life, that's their truth, good for them. It's not working for me and I don't want to live that way and I don't need to fight that fight. I lived in an all-guys dorm and the RDs would constantly come up to me and ask me to go to this seminar that was called Clear Eyes for Queer Guys. It was a play on of the TV show that was popular back in the day that was Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. It was a gay conversion seminar and classes to make you straight. And they would not drop it. They would not leave me alone. I was extremely embarrassed. I was terrified that they just assumed that I was gay. They would constantly come up to my room and tell me to go, and I would just said I was busy, I had classes, I had homework, and I never went. I was terrified. All the guys in my dorm room knew I was gay. I was in musicals. My first musical that I got into was Tusical the Musical. My RD made me this congratulations poster. The men in my dorm room, these Christian men, came up, tore it off my door, ripped it in half, and put it on the ground. These are Christians. All to say, going to a Christian school was not the best thing for me. The way Christians deal with gay people, I feel is out of fear. And I think that's the worst way to convert someone to Christianity. When I don't even understand why being gay is wrong, I mean, loving someone is wrong, will never make sense to me in my head. Anyways, this all comes up to present day. I get yelled at all the time by strangers. I get called a faggot. I'm like, yes, I am. But recently, we were in San Jose and I was walking to Starbucks and this woman screams at me, read the Bible, and then keeps on walking and is like scared of me and like screaming scripture at me. I'm like, what? In what universe do you think that this will make me want to listen to you? You're screaming at me and then running away, yelling scripture at me. Why do you think that's a good way to preach the gospel to someone? This is the reason why I don't go back to church. This is the reason why I don't like to be affiliated with my college. I mean, it would make so much sense if Christians live the way that they preach. Because you're supposed to love everyone and accept everyone, but you don't. The only people that I see doing that is Colleen's parents. They have never once criticized me for being gay. They never have a talk with me. They never pressured me to be anything but me. And that reason alone is why I would want to become a Christian, because I want to be like Colleen's dad. He's a perfect human being. He's kind, he's generous, he's polite, he's loving, never says anything bad about anyone. And that is a reason why I want to be like that. I want to become that. I want to live like that. That would be a reason why I want to become a Christian, because he loves everyone and never ever screams and pressures someone to be something they're not. Oh, girl, got heated in here. I'm sorry if you're gay and you have to go through this too. It's awful. And I'm also sorry if you are living in an abused household. I love you so much. And just know that when you're 18, you can escape and run away and transform your life. And I'm so sorry that you have to live in fear. I'm so sorry. But just know that I'm here and that there are people that do love you, and one day you're gonna change your life and it's gonna be amazing.
There we go.